they weren't. You get close. Hey, you've tuned in to Cisco Unplugged.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cisco Unplugged. My name is Dan Clamert, and I lead the Wireless Center of Excellence here at Cisco. We have a very special episode of Unplugged for you today on Cisco Live. We are pre-recording this episode from Cisco Live, which means that if you are viewing this as a live webcast, it's actually recording. But don't worry, you can still ask questions via Slido, and we're here to answer your questions live. This session, along with all of our others, are available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@getunplugged. I'm excited. We've got some great interviews lined up on today's episode, including some antenna vendors and a really cool interview with the Cisco Live NOC team. So please stay tuned for that interview later on here in our episode. And now on with the show. Welcome Ian and crew. Hey Ian, any funny stories about Live or your trip out to Vegas?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, thanks, Dan. And we got Scott and Al here as well on site.
Hey.
I'll start with my story because mine is pretty interesting. I drove down because I'm bringing all the AV kit to make this stuff work. And the funny part of that is my alternator died almost 400 miles north of town, which meant on a Sunday at about 4:30 in the evening. So the only way to actually get into town without paying thousands of dollars for towing was to actually get the biggest battery I could at a little Napa store in Ely, Nevada. Now here I am with an 8D battery paralleled up to the battery in my trunk, and I'm stopping at rest stops every 50 miles to charge this battery up to make it all the way into Las Vegas and to drop the car off the dealer. So that was me. I had 2 sessions on Monday. I co-presented with Dave Zaks and Alex Berger and Ollie in Germany on low Earth orbit satellite, and then another one on Monday afternoon with my favorite topic, workgroup bridge and outdoor wireless. Al, how about your sessions?
My session, so first of all, I don't have any way to sort of top that story. For me, the biggest problem, I drove out here too. My biggest problem was I just had to figure out how to keep Spotify going. But no, my session was Monday. It was great because Monday mornings are a great time for a session because people are coming in, they're still fresh. They haven't, like on Thursday, that you come into a session on Thursday, they're asking like, can I have those 4 seats so I can lay down and watch your session? But it's like Monday, everybody's still fresh. So my session was on designing enterprise wireless networks in complex environments. So we looked at 3 different environments. We looked at hospitality, healthcare, and higher ed. So we kind of broke down the requirements in that, and then we addressed some of those requirements in detail. So it was just a 1-hour session, so it was hard to sort of get everything in. I was talking fast. But it was fun. It really was a blast.
And Scott, you're the interloper here. Is that the deal?
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly right. So
Scott only had to pass requirements for good looks. The rest of us had height. Yes,
so,
height. That's
so yeah, I got to be the freebie here. I got the full pass to come and watch a lot of the sessions this week, so I didn't have to present. It's kind of the best of both worlds as far as that goes. I was able to sit through Al's session. I couldn't get into Ian's session, unfortunately. They were kicking people out of that one. But I've had a great time this week, just picking up some new things and learning about some different things that I probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to do prior. So it's been a great week.
Yeah, and just to kind of put an overview on the whole program here, I actually caught up with Sujit earlier in the week as we're kicking off the show, and I have a little recording of that I'd like to play out here, and we'll do that right now.
Hi, welcome to Cisco Live. My name is Sujit Ghosh. I'm an SGM and a Director of Technical Marketing and Go-to-Market for Cisco Wireless Business Unit. So today I wanted to highlight to you what we are doing in Cisco Live over here. This is the first time in Cisco Live we are doing combined sessions of Catalyst and Meraki. So if you attend any of our sessions or watch the recordings, you will be able to see all our wireless sessions are focusing on Catalyst and Meraki. A couple of sessions to highlight, definitely on AI Ops. We are doing sessions which are focused on AI Ops on the Catalyst as well as on the Meraki Cloud. We are talking about HA, how you deploy high availability. how you plan to migrate to 9800 controllers and then high density deployment. That's the core of our business. We do high density deployment in stadiums, etc. And you can see over here, if you go around, and you will be able to look at the NFL deployments. Then followed with Cisco Spaces, how wireless is integrated into Cisco Spaces. Sustainability is a big initiative all over Cisco, and as far as wireless is concerned, we are way ahead on sustainability, how we design our products, how we make sure we select the chips which goes into your APs, and then what are the software innovations we are doing for sustainability. Come, take a look at those. We have lots of sessions over there. I think if I count it, there are about 30 odd sessions for you to look into on all of these topics, starting with DNS Center, Meraki Cloud, and also HA, followed with definitely a lot of emphasis on the open roaming as we have implemented over here in Cisco Live. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Ian, for kicking that video with Sujit. Yeah, thank you, Sujit. That was great. Appreciate that insight here. And like I said, I'm not out there, unfortunately, this year. I've been to many Cisco Lives, and always love spending time, and not only in the sessions, but out on the World of Solutions floor. So if you guys had any, walking the floor, have you had any good experiences? What are you seeing out there? Any partners you're visiting, partner booths? What's it like there?
Yeah, I'm well on the way to my first artificial knee here with the amount of distance I put on.
No problem with the steps.
Yeah,
today,
no doubt. I did get a chance to explore the World of Solutions. I hung out with a lot of the antenna vendors, and I talked to Oberon, to Jeff at Oberon. I talked to Connor at Exceltex, and Dennis over at Ventev. They all had some really interesting little demos and showcases of their products, and we have some of that footage that we'll run here now as well.
Hi, my name is Jeff Doyle, VP of Global Sales for Oberon, and we're here at Cisco Live 2023 at the Mandalay Bay. If you're not familiar with Oberon, we do enclosures for wireless access points. So depending on your application, depending on your AP you're using of Cisco, we have the product for you. So I can kind of walk around real quick. This is our number one product here. It's a 2x2 ceiling tile. So if you're in the healthcare environment, it's a perfect product for you, as you can migrate your APs as they change models. All you have to do is swap out the door and keep the enclosure in the ceiling. Over here, we have our outdoor bollard. So as I said, we do enclosures for indoor and outdoor. So this is very popular in campus environments, green spaces, where they want their employees or their students to have Wi-Fi access throughout the campus. So this comes in multiple colors and fits the Cisco outdoor APs. Up here is our warehouse product. It's called the 1312, and it's not as aesthetically pleasing as the other products, but it's in a warehouse. It's more functional because there's thousands of Wi-Fi access points in a warehouse environment. So we do pole mount, wall mount, right angle brackets, and then a quad hanger. These are your ceiling mounts and your wall mount enclosures, and they're very flush to the environment, so you don't have the APs hanging, you don't have the wires coming out, so it's a very clean product. Architects love this. All right, our number one product is a right angle bracket. Very simple. It keeps it in the horizontal position so you get the best Wi-Fi signal. Again, K through 12, college campuses, airports, are where you most likely see these products. This is an outdoor rated product. It's a NEMA 4, so it's water resistant or proof, and it's big enough to put an AP and a directional antenna inside. This is a product that is kind of like an electrical box that you can have from a conduit, or you can put it on the wall. And this is a vanity cover. So if you have a wall that's black or in the ceiling like above, you can't see the white AP. So it's, again, all about aesthetics. Another version of the right angle bracket, a little bit bigger. Cable support. And let's see if we can get this one. This is a indoor enclosure. Again, it has the AP and the directional antenna. Again, another wall mount enclosure, and another NEMA 4 outdoor rated, and again, the AP and the directional antenna. So NEMA 4, it's not rugged, it's not explosion proof, but it's a high pressure wash environment protected. And then we have CPI's Zeta frame, and that's for data centers. And we have multiple types of cabinets, so one big happy family.
Hi, I'm Connor Burke with ExcelTech Solution. I'm our intended product line manager. I'm here to talk to you all today about what we do. So we're a third-party vendor. We're here to kind of fill in the gaps that Cisco might not have. We have antennas, enclosures, mounts, and where we really play is in all those little spots where the amazing Cisco antennas that y'all do have, you may not have an exact solution that the customer needs. So for instance here, our classic one that we've made our name off of basically is our warehouse antenna. It's 13 dBIs, 120 by 50 degree beam width. It's fantastic for doing warehouse deployments, makes it really nice and easy. Low co-channel interference throughout your entire deployment. It's one of our best sellers, and we've seen it a lot of great deployments with the Cisco APs. Beyond that, I know that recently there's been a lot of talk around Wi-Fi 6E and the coming external antennas when standard power comes out. Obviously right now we're still waiting for the FCC to approve standard power. Hopefully that'll come by the end of the year. If not, we'll hopefully see it early next year. But in that meantime, we have been working very diligently developing our tri-band antennas. We currently have a large line, some of them compatible with the 9130, obviously doesn't have a 6 gigahertz radio, but we have a lot of experience now because of those designs to be ready for when the true 6 gigahertz radios come out. In the meantime though, for like the IW9167, we do have these antennas right here. These are IW9167 ready, and when standard power comes out, you'll be able to use these with the full 6 gigahertz capabilities right from the get-go. They're ready to go, designed. Our entire line is out there right now, ready to be used with them. Beyond our antenna line, we also have our enclosures, obviously. That's a big game changer with Cisco. Over here, we have one that is commonly used in schools for gymnasiums. We use these in prism systems, hospitality, just enough to be able to let you get your AP on the wall, angle it down, but still get it protected and have a nice aesthetic to it. And then mounting solutions, we have a ton from our L bracket up there down to our ceiling tile mounts and in-wall enclosures. These just give a lot of added value to the Cisco APs. Obviously, they do a great job when they're mounted in the right place, but actually getting them to that right place can be a challenge sometimes. So we try to make that as easy as possible for y'all and give you these mounts and these options to look at.
Hello, my name is Dennis Burrell. I'm the Senior Product Manager for Antennas with Ventive, and I'm going to walk around and show you some of the products that we have here at Cisco Live 2023. One of the things that I would like to highlight is our small form factor line of antennas. We take a lot of pride in these antennas because we like to think outside the box and come up with solutions that are aesthetically pleasing so that the customer has something that they can put up that looks good and hide the AP. Right here we have our line of small form factor antennas, starting with our micro patch antenna. So this was our first small form factor antenna. From this we went to our nano patch antenna, and as you can see, what we're doing is we're getting smaller. Our nano patch antenna is also a 6 dBi antenna. All of these antennas are 6 dBi. This one right here, we designed to have a low front to back ratio, operate at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz on all of the ports. So this is a 4-port antenna. From there, we went to what we call our Pico patch antenna. And now this antenna is the size of a business card. Now, the difference between the Pico patch and the nano patch is that this antenna is only 5 gig only, whereas though the nano patch is a dual band on each lead, this is a single band 5 gig antenna. And finally, our newest antenna in our small form factor line of products is our femto patch antenna. This is the smallest antenna on the market. That's a tri-band antenna, 3.4 inches by 3.4 inches, 4 leads, 6 dBi gain, but it operates at 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz. So this antenna is Wi-Fi 6E capable and ready. Right now we're working on our latest one, which will be coming out towards the end of the year, which will be even smaller than this one. This one is 3.4 by 3.4 inches. So look for something in the future towards the end of the year that's somewhere around 3 inches by 3 inches. So following on with our aesthetics play, we have a patented solution where we've taken junction boxes and we've placed antennas into them. So right here what we have is our 4-lead junction box antenna. Now this antenna has 4 antenna radiators embedded into a 3-gang junction box. So this is a directional antenna. We also have a omnidirectional version as well. The good thing about the directional antenna version is that it has plus or minus 45 degrees of articulation. So depending on how you mount this into the wall, you can articulate the antenna up 45 degrees or down 45 degrees. So this gives you the ability to fine-tune your coverage using this antenna. We also have a 6-lead version. But the next one that I want to show you is our newest junction box antenna. This is an 8-lead junction box antenna. So we have 8 antenna radiators, directional radiators, in a 4-gang junction box. So we came up with this design to support Cisco's 9130 access points. So of course, if we're talking Cisco, we want to support all of their newest APs. So what we have here is our DART-enabled antenna solutions, right? So we have both 6 dBi directional and omnidirectionals with the 4-port DART connector integrated into them, as well as omnidirectional and directional antennas to support 8-port access point. So, and then we also have a line of DART products as well, DART jumpers, 4 and 8 lead as well. One of the things that we did come out with, we always had customers coming saying that the DART jumpers aren't long enough. So we came out with 3-foot and 6-foot DART-to-DART jumpers where you can extend the antenna away from the AP using these DART-to-DART jumpers. One of the biggest verticals that we're coming across lately over the last year is warehousing and antennas to support high racking areas. One of the antennas I want to highlight to you here is what we call our warehouse light antenna. This is an 8 dBi antenna that has a horizontal polarization of 115 degrees. So you could take this antenna and you could place it over a warehouse aisle and it will cover up to 300 feet in coverage area of a warehouse aisle. We also have another version of this, which is a higher gain version that covers slightly longer distances above 300 feet. I'd like to thank you for taking a tour of our antenna products. Once again, I'm Dennis Burrell, the Senior Product Manager for Antennas for Ventive. Thank you.
All right, thanks. That's great. So how about you, Scott, or Al? What else have you seen there on the floor that's been interesting or exciting?
Lots of really cool stuff around here. One of the big ones was running through the IoT booth here recently. They had a little robot thing that was running around. Really pretty cool to see. A lot of advancements with the curb stuff, a lot of the ultra wideband things that we're doing from that standpoint. Really, I mean, just tons and tons of stuff around here for sure.
Fun stuff, lock picking. You know, there's all the capture the flag games going on back here, and it's I would say it's been super alive this year. I mean, there's just been a ton of activity back in the Whisper suites and the Meet the Engineer. It's like a revolving door, just one after the next, or groups at a time, right through. So it's been really busy.
Yeah, and speaking about that robot, the iRobot thing you're mentioning, Scott, I also headed over to that booth. I got a little clip of Anthony, the PM, and DJ, TME, just kind of going over the whole curb thing, and we can roll that as well right now.
Hi, I'm Anthony Savalio, one of the product managers on the Industrial Wireless IoT team. I'm here standing next to our pole-mounted portfolio. Our newest AP on the pole is the IW9167E for external antennas. This is our tri-radio access point, which incorporates Cisco ultra-reliable wireless backhaul, as well as Wi-Fi 6, and it's also ready for Wi-Fi 6E when available. Below that over here, we have our most industrial heavy-duty access point, the IW6300H. This is designed for your Class 1 Division 2 deployments, as you see in oil and gas, chemicals, and even in some food and beverage use cases. Clipped to the front of it, we have our newest addition to the module portfolio, which is the Wipe-A-Lot Eagle Eye. This uses ultra-wideband UWB technology for centimeter-level location tracking of assets, employees, increasing safety, accountability, all of those great use cases we see in heavy industry. Then, of course, we also have our LoRaWAN gateway for our bigger areas with less data required. And the sensors are behind us on the table that show Cisco's newest direction in the industrial asset vision world. Thanks.
Hi there, I'm DJ Cole, a technical marketing engineer at Cisco in our industrial group. I mainly focus on our industrial wireless products. Here at the show, we're demonstrating some of our new technology with our Cisco ultra-reliable wireless backhaul. Here at the show, we have a robot that actually has one of our new Cisco industrial wireless IW9165 APs on it. We have some other APs mounted around the demo area here that are 9167 APs, one here and one there. And the concept what we're showing is how this robot, which isn't necessarily directly related to the solution, but we're showing how you can take this radio, put it on an AGV, and how it can roam around and sort of get the benefits of low latency communication, right? We're actually showing that here with a teleoperation with a joystick. So you actually, if you're here at the show, you can actually drive this robot around. You really get a feel for how the responsive, you can drive it afterwards. Right now, I'm kind of working on some things here, but I'm sure that we'll edit some clips in here of the robot driving around. You actually get to see that operate. We can show you some of those handoffs and what it would be like with a real AGV and how the responsiveness, the latency on the wireless can sort of impact the operation there. So it's pretty cool to check out. And you can actually see sort of the screen. We'll show you a clip here in a second of what the screen looks like. You're able to see that wireless go up and down as it moves between access points and really get a feel for how that is. So yeah, that's sort of our demo in a nutshell there.
All right, thanks. That's great. I think I need one of those Roombas around my house. I like that. I like that they put the little flag on there too, so nobody steps on it when it's roaming around the floor there. So thanks for that. So one thing I did have a question, I think, for Al here, and one thing from the past here that I've always liked and enjoyed when I've been at Cisco Live is checking out the NOC, and it always kind of fascinates me to what it takes behind the scenes to pull off an event like this and the infrastructure and the network. So did you get a chance to check that out at all, Al?
We did, yeah. So and you're right, it's a pretty big deal. Just for everybody's benefit, what happens is when Cisco comes in, about 4 or 5 years ago, we worked with MGM to redesign these facilities from a wireless standpoint. Now when Cisco comes in, they basically just hand over all the access points to Cisco. MGM hands it over to Cisco, and Cisco then just puts it on their own controllers and manages it from there. So we had a chance to stop by the NOC and visit with Chris and a number of the MGM team. And so we had a good time talking with those guys, right?
Yeah,
so,
we'll roll that clip now. You take a look. I think you'll find it quite interesting.
We're here at the NOC at Cisco Live, and we're joined by Chris O'Donnell, who is the lead wireless architect here from Cisco, from the NOC. And then we're joined by a number of our friends from MGM. John and Lee and Chuck are all members of MGM, and they keep this venue running the whole time when Chris is not here, right? So
they keep it warm for me.
That's right.
No pun intended.
So Chris, tell us a little bit about what went on. How did you get ready for this? I know there was a lot of work done in the Ultra Arena. John, I know you were a big part of that. Tell us a little bit about kind of what happened during that time to get ready for this.
Yeah. So and first and foremost, I love working with these guys. It's not my first time. We've been here a lot of times. I've taken this network over, and it's really great for me. It saves me a lot of time. Even just looking at it from a staging standpoint, we start months in advance. And I know me and John worked together because one of the things we did want to do this year, because we're using 11 AC for most of the venue, but we did want to upgrade to Wi-Fi 6 in the arena. People love a fast, latest, greatest keynote type of experience. So John and I worked together. He was a great partner with me to get some measurements, find out locations where we need to go, and then of course the install was pretty much a flash install. It was pretty much, I could say it overnight. I think they hired minions to get it done, but
Millions
they
of
did get
minions.
it done. Millions of minions. But yeah, they did a really excellent job of ripping out infrastructure, putting new infrastructure in, and testing cables and making sure all is well. So John overseed it. He did an outstanding job. He was my eyes and ears. So
Yeah.
like I said, I can't get enough credit to him for that prep.
So John, from your standpoint, installation, you were kind of monitoring. What challenges did you have to make sure the installation was done correctly?
I mean, it almost felt kind of more like a project management type role. It was getting all the low voltage guys squared away and getting there. Like you said, they knocked it out almost overnight. We had 117 legacy APs that we were replacing with 72 Marlins, and they did all of that in 2 nights.
Wow.
So I was a little scared because I went there the first night and I left there after about 2 hours to make sure that the angle was going to be good and all that stuff. And when I left, they had only had one hung, and I'm like, oh God, this is going to be bad. I looked the next morning, and 36 were online on the controllers. I was kind of blown away, but
all right.
But other than that, I mean, with these 9104s, it's real important on how they get installed. So it's just making sure to. Almost felt like a jerk, just be like, hey man, I know I've told you this 3 times, but I need to hammer this in, maybe 5 or 6 more. Like these have to be in a certain orientation. But,
Perfect.
yeah.
Really important. Yeah. Excellent. So let me ask you guys for a second, right? So normally these events aren't like Cisco. We don't normally come in and take over the network and we bring an arsenal of engineers. So normally you guys have to support these events, right? So what are the kinds of things that you have to do to kind of keep this network going on an ongoing basis, right?
Yeah, I think our biggest challenge in our convention spaces is just other operators and dealing with those operators. That's why we're looking forward to the 6E spectrum and be able to get out of the interference zone.
Yeah, excellent.
And just the sheer numbers of clients that people are carrying around with them now.
Yeah.
Those are our biggest challenges.
Big change from the previous network we had till we got to this one, where we redesigned it and all of it. We got this grid now across the ceiling and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, what about you, Chuck? Anything that, I know you're not always on this venue, but maybe other venues? I mean, what kinds of things are challenges for you on a kind of ongoing basis?
Well, right now we're actually in the middle of a Wi-Fi refresh where we are literally redesigning every last MGM Wi-Fi network, both in Vegas and throughout the country, right? We have about, I want to say 8 or 9 properties, East Coast, Midwest, right? Biggest challenge right now is, believe it or not, it's aesthetics, right? Stakeholder buy-in, everybody wants everything to be hidden. Of course, as a RF engineer, you want everything to be, room side, because it just works a lot better, right? So, I mean, really, that's the biggest challenge, right?
Yeah.
But we have your new 9103 antennas. They're really sleek, and they're actually beautiful, right? So we're able to sell that a lot better. Even the 9130Is, a little more sleek, not so square like the others.
We need to hire this guy.
Oh,
he's a good sales guy.
I'm sorry. Wait, if the price is right.
So let me just turn this back over to Chris again. So not to take it away from so tell us, give us some of the statistics. Maybe tell us a little bit of the challenges you had when we first got started.
Yeah.
Okay, so John helped get everything installed.
Yeah.
Kind of turned it over to you guys. You flipped the switch on.
Yeah.
It all worked perfectly instantly, or it's like.
Yeah, I mean, so I was out here 2 weeks ago with John during the install. So as they finished the install up, we were able to work on their infrastructure because obviously I didn't have mine here. So I was able to pre-tune the keynote and give myself a head start. And Dell was doing their event as well. So we had to give them something. We can't just leave it raw. So we did give it, I think, a pretty good design with channel planning and tuning. It's just because of time, I couldn't eke out as much. So when I got here Tuesday, as soon as we took the infrastructure over on Wednesday, we've been kind of playing in there, doing a lot of testing, tweaking, really a lot of optimizations around it, but more of it was fine-tuning. There was a lot of fine-tuning around the RX SOP. That was the biggest thing for me after doing a lot of data collection, was finding that these antennas are very sensitive, especially in an indoor environment, a small indoor environment, like a small arena. So we definitely had to go more aggressive on the RX SOP to make sure that the channel utilization stayed down, because we did see during the setup week some spiking of the channel utilization, and in a bowl that's not even open, it's not even, it's empty. We've seen these crazy spikes of utilization. We're like, what was going on? We come to find out, we were like, yeah, if something transmits, it hears everywhere and it drives up the CU. So just applying that level of RX SOP cut that down. Other than that, it was good. We had almost 7,000 people, like
I was
a
gonna ask,
70% take rate, which is really good for Wi-Fi. I don't know if anybody has ever figured out before. Most, like, the keynote, not keynotes, but the Super Bowls and things of that nature, maybe 50% take rate on the Wi-Fi.
Right.
People come here, they like to test the Wi-Fi, so we normally see 70-80%. So
I was up with my speed test up in the stands.
Yeah. No, we were definitely, people were reporting 40 meg.
Oh yeah.
During the keynote.
I got 100 up and close to 70 down. Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So that's really good. So I was very impressed with those numbers.
Yeah. We're cool. So tell us a bit about the stats. Like, how many are you're running open roaming here?
Yes.
How many are on any given time? Like right now, how many about?
So we averaged close to 19,000 people this year. So last year we were around 15. So we definitely seen an uptick in people coming here, which was good. I mean, I think we're getting closely back to normal. You can see in the background when it comes back up, we have a whole distribution of the protocol. But obviously most people are connecting on the 11AC. We do have a lot of Wi-Fi 6 and 6E capable clients.
Okay.
Like I said, in the arena we had close to 7,000. Open roaming is usually about 30%. We're averaging about 30% of the total client attendee count. And a lot of that is just due to people, if they have their SSID configured on their device from previous years, they have to opt in for the open roaming.
Okay.
So I think as we go forward, we're looking at ways of auto-provisioning, trying to push that out to get people onto open roaming, to make it, it's all about an onboarding experience. We want people on the Wi-Fi. We don't want them to think about it, right? We want them to come here, be connected, enjoy the experience, and take advantage of the technology.
So as you're monitoring this, what sort of KPIs are you looking for? How do you make sure that things are...
I mean, for me, I rely a lot in DNA Center, so I use Assurance for a lot of what I look at from a health point of view. I definitely like to see my health at 90%.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We kind of go down, because of the nature of the deployment, we only have pockets of what we take over for wireless. We can never get to 100% because of that reason. But I'm looking at onboarding times, making sure that people are not having issues onboarding, onboard failures, excessive retries, and some of the keynote areas. We're really, we dug deep into the channelization. I know we have a waterfall graph that Dave Benham created that allows us to really track that utilization over time, because it gives us a good insight of what's going on when, and we've actually done it for the whole venue. So we know when people are going to lunch, we know when people are moving in the hallways. You can see it as a trend.
Right.
Outside of that, the WNCD processes on the 9800s are very important to monitor in an event like this.
Yeah.
So it's different architecture than AirOS. So that WNCD process is, these are processors that hold up the site tags. So we have 8 site tags deployed in this event, and we monitor all 8 of those site tags to make sure that we're not overrunning or having anything that would cause problems with client connectivity.
Okay, well, looks like we're getting the time signal. So,
all right.
Hey, I appreciate everybody joining us for that. Thank you guys, and thank you MGM guys for all you do for Cisco.
Thank you
in putting on this event. So, thanks, Chris, for taking time out of your busy schedule. So,
thank you, Al. Appreciate it.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, that was great on the knock, and special thanks to the MGM team. That was really informative. Thank you. That was great. So I have another question here. I love the sessions, like I mentioned earlier. Do you all have a favorite session that you attended?
Great question. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I this afternoon I attended Jim Florwick's session on RF design. And he brought up some of the new 6 gigahertz, the new Wi-Fi 6E, and in particular, we talked a little bit about the 9166D, the directional AP that Cisco has just announced, right? So this has been, as you know, with the big issue is if you want to use low power indoor, you have to have a permanently fixed antenna. We know some people that think you can glue it on, but so far the FCC hasn't agreed with that. So this one is permanently fixed. And so it's really kind of a lead in the industry to be able to fix that 6 gigahertz directional indoor capability. So, and Jim covered some of so if you're looking for a good reference to see what the patterns look like and what coverage looks like off that, he actually covered some of that in his session. So look that up.
Yeah, Jim's sessions are always super informative and also always entertaining.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So, yeah, Scott.
Well, obviously I have to exclude the current presenters here with me, but they were obviously excellent. I'm sure Ian's was going to be as well, or what was as well.
Mine was the best session. Come on, man.
It was
my favorite session.
It was.
I attended a whole lot this week, which was great, as the interloper, as Al called me earlier. But probably the highlight for me recently was the one I just did right before I got done here. It was on AI RRM, and it was one of the presenters was the principal engineer for that Vishal, and he really went through kind of a packet walk of exactly how AI RRM works, all the interdependencies, and how it works with the AI cloud and all that stuff. It was excellent. Really good background information for me, and I encourage everyone to go out and download that presentation. Watch it if you can. It's fantastic.
Yeah, right on. And like I said, my favorite presentation was the low Earth orbit one that we did. That was way cool. A lot of comments from the audience about more of that, please. So, anyways, I think that's it from here, Dan. I'll pass it back to you and close it out.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Al. That was great, and definitely have some FOMO going on here. Wish I was there with you and on the floor of the World Solutions at Live. Great talking to you, and thanks for all the highlights from this week, and really appreciate that. So please take a moment to complete our follow-up survey, and also as a reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can be notified when we do go live with more great content at youtube.com/@getunplugged. If you'd like to reach us, we'd love to connect with you. If you don't know who your Cisco account team is, we now have an email address. You can reach us at getunplugged@cisco.com. Shoot us an email, and we'd love to connect. With that, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay connected and unplugged.